I recently had the privilege of spending the day at the GEMS camp in Dallas. And on that day, I wasn't able to interview the founder of GEMS, Saki Milton, but I was able to today. So let's learn more about this camp.
Yeah.
So I'm here with Saki Milton, and she is, I guess, the brainchild behind the GEMS camp. And so I would like for you to tell us more about the program, kind of how you founded it and why you saw the need for this, and just kind of generally just tell us about the program.
Yeah. So, David, first of all, thank you for taking the time to learn more about the GEMS camp and what we do. I started this program, oh gosh, 11 years ago. I was a middle school mathematics teacher, and I had the privilege of moving up with my students. So,
Oh,
I had taught them in seventh grade, and then I had them again in eighth grade. And that was the first time I'd ever moved up with kids. And
mhm.
I observed my girls were a little bit different entering the eighth grade. They weren't as vocal. They weren't as ambitious and took initiative in class as I'd seen the year before. And so I just started getting curious about that and started, doing some internet research. And this was 2010. And I started just stumbling upon research about girls in middle years and how they start to change the narrative about themselves as math and science learners.
Mhm.
So I thought, I want to keep them interested and I want to make them have fun. And that year, the 10th graders at my school, I was teaching at a K-12 school, did this personal year-long project for the International Baccalaureate. And I was just blown away by their creations at the end of the year. And I said, well, I need to have a personal project. Every adult needs to do something that's just takes you out of your comfort zone every year, or something fun, like a passion project.
Uh-huh.
And then I started putting the two together with what I'd been observing. And I said, I want to have a math camp for girls, and I want it to be in the community and all of these great things. And I did a GEMS camp. I said I want it to be fun. I don't want them to feel pressured to perform. I want it to be all things glamorous and glitter, but also nerdy and techie. And so I came up with the acronym, the GEMS camp, girls interested in engineering, mathematics, and science. And I just wanted to build interest. That's all I set out to do, was to build interest. And over the years, it has just evolved, and evolved into something bigger and greater. And, my whole purpose is to keep girls passionate and interested in learning mathematics and science. And in particular, I focus on underrepresented populations. Obviously, that was my background, growing up. And I want to prepare girls to enter spaces where they might be a minority, but how they can still shine and be their authentic selves and celebrate other cultures as well. So we do all things from a cultural lens, but we also look at the holistic child in terms of their development. So our 5 carrots, as we call them, the 5 carat gems,
Yeah.
are academics, career, creativity, leadership, and service. So we hit all 5 of those in all aspects of our programming.
Yeah.
There's so much research out there that shows that girls will likely stay, involved in STEM through higher education and through a career if they have a role model, if they see themselves represented. So
Yeah.
that's why we take the time to bring in other women who are in those fields to expose girls to that. And then creativity is all about getting out of the box, teaching them the design cycle and
Yeah.
how to follow the engineering, design process. And it's so important to train kids how to think like that, so that they can be better problem solvers. And then our leadership carrot is all about what you saw with handshaking, but we take it a step further. We do a lot of storytelling,
Hmm.
with conflict management, how to take accountability, how to advocate for yourself. Say, for example, if there's a disagreement between you and a teacher with a grade, what's the proper way to go
Yeah.
about doing that? So we try to teach some leadership skills as well, self-management, how to stay organized. And then our last carrot, of course, is service. Um, I don't want to have a society or graduate, 400, 500 girls who go on to make, hundreds of $1,000s a year, but they don't have any sense of moral responsibility to give
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
to their communities wherever they find themselves. currently the 2014 group, right, that entered as seventh graders.
Hmm.
We do still have an active relationship with them. So we try to have a meetup once a year, whether it's they come home in the summers. So they're entering their sophomore year in college right now because
Yeah.
that was the class of 2020, I believe. Let's see. Most of them are STEM majors. I think one of them is out of that 10, that group that we started tracking in seventh grade. One of them is a political science major at UT Austin, but she's looking at doing law, perhaps intellectual property or something in technology, patents. And everyone else, we have aerospace engineering, we have biology. We said girls interested in, and all I can do is hope that their participation fosters that desire to continue on through the pipeline. But if not, we've prepared a great group of model citizens, I hope.
Okay, so I started in the seventh grade. When I entered in, I wanted to be an engineer, but I didn't really know that much about engineering. And so they had people from different careers come out and speak to us about it, and that's how I realized I like science a lot more than I thought I did, and it also gave me more confidence in math because that's obviously my weakest subject. But then the summer of my sophomore year, we went to the United Arab Emirates, and I got to meet an OBGYN. And so her experience, she took us through a day in her life, different things. And so that kind of helped me put everything together because I really love science, but I wanted a career I would be with people every day. So yeah.
How open everyone is to helping learn about academics, leadership, being a gym. It's very inspiring. It helps me become more confident in my academic skills, and I feel like I can ask anyone questions. I feel comfortable asking questions and being myself and
Cool.
making friends.
Yeah. So is this your first year
Yes,
or
this is my first year
okay?
here.
Are you intending on coming back?
Of course,
Of
I want to
course.
come back, meet my friends, meet new people, the mentors. Yeah, I'm excited.
That's good.
Did you attend the camp yourself?
So unfortunately, I didn't get the chance to be a camper, but I do have a previous experience of since 2016. So I've seen a lot of the growth of some of the girls that have been with us since 2016. That they were seventh graders. So every year I saw them growing as as human beings, as girls, as women, and I think that for me that's as might as well just be a camper with them because I grew with them as they went throughout the years.
That's awesome.
So I'm excited, and I think it's such a privilege to have a girl come through our middle school program, and then our 10th grade year, which you did not get to see. We have more or less like a bridge between, okay, you're leaving middle school, you're entering high school.
Hmm.
What does that process look like? We work a lot on building your student resume, more of your writing skills, looking into specific colleges that are, really good for a STEM type of major, how to start building rapport with those schools. So we do a lot of that type of work with them.
Yeah.
And then the 11th grade year, they can return as mentors, which is some of the ones that you got to see and interact with them. And I hope that some of our girls become teachers. I really, really, that would just, oh my gosh, that would make me so
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah. That would be awesome. Yeah. Passing on, those skills to others.
And if we talk about student-centered or child-centered learning, then the kid has to be at the middle, in the very middle. And all of the wraparound services have to support their entire development,
Oh, sure.
especially during this pandemic. Oh my gosh, some of the biggest learning lessons out of the GEMS camp was this need for socialization, which we all know, especially in the middle years, right? The kids have their peer network is everything. Peer is everything. And the isolation that kids have experienced over this past year and a half, we saw the differences when they all came back together. And that's why you have to have, I believe, if you're going to have a STEM program, whether you're doing all boys or all girls or co-ed, it doesn't matter. I do believe you have to look at their whole well-being, because if we just go in for the academics and the skills, we're going to miss them. We have to support them with counselors. You didn't even get to see our counseling and the way we approach,
Yeah, I didn't see that. Yeah.
way we approach small group counseling and mindfulness. But you saw like the physical fitness, the yoga, and teaching them how to take care of your body, how to stay healthy. Maybe you're going to be some aerospace astronaut or something. You have to have a sense of wellness about
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And so it's important to start instilling those qualities and those activities very early on. So that's why we do that. Imposter syndrome at higher rates, dealing with those things. But as a woman of color, I've lived that experience. So I can help identify what these potential triggers are that might keep one from seeking or pursuing their aspirations. And I think that girls and women, we're in such a unique position to help foster that line of thinking of what you're talking about, because women in this country couldn't vote until the 1920, it was 1920.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's a collective experience that me as a Black woman or a white woman or whatever, we all can relate to that of
Sure.
what it's like to not be able to have your vote counted. So
Mm.
it's important to bring us together, and be able to have girls to see that no, we're in this together, and we need to learn. You need to learn at a very young age how to support the woman next to you, regardless of her skin color or her background. Chances are you're both experiencing some of the same things. So let's help this together. And we of course need our male allies to support the work for gender pay equity, for giving us opportunities to lead in tech companies and serve on development teams. All of that, we are all needed at the table to bring it back full circle.
Right.
We do. I'm so excited. We're getting more funding. We're starting our big fundraising campaign. We're looking at the Hidden Gems program, which is our after school program that will be kicking off this school year. I'm just excited about what the future holds for this organization. Again, what started out as a personal passion project, just out of curiosity and my general observations of being a math teacher. Who would have known that 11 years later we're still in the game, and we're growing and expanding. So I'm very excited about that.
For more information about the GEMS Camp, please visit their website at thegemscamp.org.